Welcome back to the Stoic Golden Tribe, a place where men learn how to rise above confusion, heartbreak, and weakness, and step into clarity, strength, and purpose. Today we're going to face a question that eats away at many men in silence. Why does she never call or text me first? You've felt it before. You send the first message, you start the conversation, you keep the energy alive, and yet she never takes that first step toward you. Does it mean she doesn't care? Does it mean she's testing you? Or does it mean you've been giving too much of yourself away without even realizing it? The truth, my brother, is deeper than you think. And today we are going to break it down piece by piece, not just to understand women, but to understand yourself and to see how your response to this situation can either weaken you or make you unstoppable, because this isn't just about a woman texting you. This is about how you carry yourself as a man in every part of life. Relationships are mirrors. They reflect who we are and what we accept. If you keep chasing, you become a chaser in life. But if you learn to stand firm, you become a man of gravity, the kind of man who pulls respect, love, and loyalty naturally toward him. So, stay with me. We're going to walk through this together with honesty, with courage, and with wisdom drawn from the lives of men who came before us. By the end of this video, you won't just know what it means when she never calls or texts you first. You'll know how to rise above the doubt, how to protect your dignity, and how to step forward as a stronger man no matter what she does. Welcome, brother, to the truth. And before we dive in, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support allows me to continue creating content that challenges common misconceptions and brings you insights that others often overlook. Chapter 1. Understanding the silence. When a woman never calls or texts you first, the first reaction most men have is confusion. They start asking themselves questions that slowly eat away at their confidence. Does she even like me? Did I do something wrong? Why am I always the one putting in the effort? This confusion turns into anxiety. That anxiety turns into overthinking. And eventually, overthinking leads to weakness. A man who once stood tall suddenly begins to doubt his own worth because of a phone screen that doesn't light up when he wants it to. But here's the truth you must understand. Her silence is not the enemy. Your interpretation of her silence is. Every man must reach a point where he stops searching for answers in another person's behavior and starts finding strength in his own response. Think about Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Every day he faced betrayal, war, sickness, and uncertainty. But in his meditations he never once complained about what others failed to do. Instead, he always returned to one question. What is within my control? Brother, you cannot control whether she texts you first. You cannot control whether she thinks of you before she sleeps, but you can control the way you carry yourself. You can control whether you chase validation or command respect. Now let's get real. Why might she never reach out first? There are three main reasons. 1. Lack of genuine interest. Sometimes the painful truth is simple. She doesn't feel the same way. She enjoys your attention, but she doesn't see you as a priority. You're available, so she takes it for granted. 2. Testing your strength. Other times, it's not disinterest, it's a test. Some women want to see if you'll crumble without their attention. They want to measure your patience, your leadership, your confidence. It's not always conscious, but it's real. 3rd habit and expectation. Lastly, it might be habit. You've always been the one reaching out, so she assumes you'll continue. She doesn't even think about it anymore. But here's the key. No matter the reason, your response determines everything. Too many men respond to silence with more chasing. They send double texts. They call again. They beg for attention. And with every extra effort, they dig themselves deeper into the hole of weakness. But the strong man, the stoic man, here does the opposite. He sees silence not as a punishment, but as a mirror. It shows him where he stands. It shows him what needs to change. If she never calls or texts you first, it's not just about her. It's about what you allow, what you expect, and what you value in yourself. The silence is teaching you something. It's teaching you to stop giving all your energy to someone who does not reciprocate. It's teaching you to redirect your focus to your mission, your purpose, and your growth. Remember this: a man on his path does not sit by the phone waiting for validation. He builds his kingdom, he builds his strength, and because of that, people, including women, are naturally drawn to him. So the next time you feel that sting of silence, do not run from it. Do not fill it with desperate words. Sit with it. Let it remind you that your worth was never tied to her call, her text, or her approval. Brother, the silence is not rejection. The silence is direction. It is pushing you back to yourself, back to your mission, back to the place where your power has always been. Drop a comment below. When someone stays silent, do you see it as rejection or as a chance to rise stronger? Chapter 2. Taking back your power. When she never calls or texts you first, most men make the mistake of thinking the solution is to push harder, to send more messages, to try and remind her of their worth. But let me tell you something, brother. Attention that you have to beg for is not attention worth having. A man's strength is not in how much he chases, but in how much he can hold back. The power lies not in reaching for her, but in standing tall so that she reaches for you. Think of a fire. The flame does not chase the air. The air is drawn to it. In the same way, a strong man does not chase attention. He builds himself so firmly that attention is drawn to him without effort. So how do you take back your power when she never reaches out first? 1. Reframe the silence. Instead of asking, "Why doesn't she text me?" ask yourself, "Why am I waiting?" You are not on this earth to sit by the phone, waiting for someone to validate your existence. Your time is too precious. Your mission is too important. Every time you feel the urge to chase, use that energy instead to build. Build your mind, build your body, build your craft. Because at the end of the day, no message on your screen will ever feel as powerful as knowing you are becoming the man you were meant to be. 2. Withdraw your attention with dignity. This doesn't mean you ghost her or act bitter. True strength is calm and controlled. If she never calls or texts you first, then match her energy. Don't punish her, don't complain. Simply redirect your energy to where it is appreciated and reciprocated. You see, women can feel when a man has dignity. They can feel when a man's self-respect will not allow him to overextend himself for scraps of attention. And that energy either attracts the right kind of woman or exposes the wrong kind. Either way, you win. 3. Live with purpose. Beyond her. This is the most important part. You must have something in your life that is bigger than her, bigger than texting, bigger than relationships. Look back in history. Alexander the Great didn't conquer the world by waiting on someone's reply. Marcus Aurelius didn't write Meditations because he was chasing approval. Great men built their lives on a foundation of discipline, purpose, and vision. When you commit to your purpose, women notice. They see that your life has direction. They feel that your energy isn't scattered. And instead of you chasing them, they begin to chase the strength, focus, and clarity that you embody. The shift in energy. Here's what happens when you take back your power. You no longer panic when she's silent. You no longer base your value on her effort. You begin to see that her actions are simply information, not confirmation of your worth. And in that state, something amazing happens. You stop fearing loss. You realize that if she doesn't put in effort, it's her loss, not yours. You stop clinging, you stop begging, you stand firm, and this is what separates boys from men. Boys chase, men attract, boys beg, men build, boys lose themselves in silence, men find themselves in silence. Brother, your silence in response to her silence is not weakness. It is strength. It is restraint. It is you telling the world, I am already complete, with or without you. Drop a comment below. Do you believe true strength in relationships comes from chasing or from standing firm? Chapter 3. Building the man she can't ignore. If a woman never calls or texts you first, you have two choices. You can sit there, frustrated, waiting for her to change, or you can become the kind of man whose very presence makes silence impossible. And the truth is, most men do not choose the second path. They stay stuck in self-pity. They keep giving, hoping, waiting. And in doing so, they miss the opportunity that silence is offering them, the opportunity to evolve. Because here's the reality: you don't get respect by asking for it. You earn it by becoming undeniable. 1. Develop your inner strength. A man's first battle is always internal. If you're shaken by her silence, it means you have not yet mastered yourself. So begin with discipline. Wake up early, train your body, strengthen your mind, read, write, reflect. Build habits that sharpen you into a man who is not easily moved by someone else's actions. Because when you stand strong within, the outside world loses its power to shake you. 2. Build your outer world. Now, strength on the inside must reflect on the outside. What are you building in your life? A career? A business? A vision that goes beyond just surviving? Too many men pour all of their energy into women while their own lives remain half-built. And then they wonder why women don't take them seriously. A man who has direction, goals, and ambition radiates something different. His silence speaks louder than words. He doesn't have to chase, because women feel that his life has momentum. 3. Create a magnetic energy. Have you ever noticed that some men walk into a room and instantly command respect without saying a word? That's not luck. That's presence. Presence is built through confidence, self-control, and purpose. It's the way you carry yourself, the way you look people in the eye, the way you move without rush or desperation. When you cultivate presence, women notice. Even if she never texts you first now, your energy will shift so deeply that she won't be able to ignore it. 4. Stop playing small. Too many men shrink themselves in relationships. They become so afraid of losing someone that they stop demanding the best from themselves and from others. But hear this clearly: when you play small, you invite disrespect. When you lower your standards, you teach others to do the same. The man she can't ignore is the man who refuses to play small. He demands excellence from himself, and by doing so, he naturally demands it from others. The truth about attraction. Attraction is not built by chasing, it is built by becoming. The more you build yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially, the less you'll care whether she calls or texts you first. Because by then you'll have options, you'll have clarity, you'll have the kind of life that makes silence irrelevant. And that, brother, is when the dynamic shifts. You no longer wonder why she doesn't text first. Instead, you ask yourself, does she even deserve a place in my world? Drop a comment below. What do you think makes a man truly unforgettable? His words or the way he carries himself? Chapter 4. Choosing dignity over desperation. At some point in life, every man must face a crossroads. Will I keep chasing what does not chase me? Or will I choose to protect my dignity no matter the cost? When she never calls or texts you first, that's the exact crossroad you're standing at. It's not about her anymore, it's about you. 1. Desperation destroys respect. Let's be honest, desperation is ugly, it repels, it makes you look weak, ungrounded, and unsure of yourself. When a woman senses that you are desperate for her attention, she instinctively loses respect. She may enjoy the power, but she does not admire the man. And what good is her attention if it comes at the cost of your dignity? 2. Dignity attracts loyalty. Now flip it around. Imagine the man who knows his worth, the man who says, if you do not match my effort, I will not beg, I will not chase, I will move forward. That man radiates strength. That man earns respect. And that man, whether she stays or leaves, never loses himself. Women are drawn to dignity. They may test it, they may challenge it, but deep down they admire it. Because dignity proves you are a man who cannot be controlled by silence, games, or manipulation. 3. The power of walking away. Here's a truth most men don't want to hear. Sometimes the strongest move you can make is to walk away. If she never puts in effort, then why are you still giving her all of yours? If she doesn't value your presence, then why are you afraid of her absence? Walking away is not weakness. It's the highest form of self-respect. It's saying, I am the prize. I will not waste my time where I am not valued. And when you carry this mindset, two things happen. The wrong women fall away. The right women rise to meet you. 4. Your value is not negotiable. You are not here to beg for calls or texts. You are not here to chase breadcrumbs of attention. You are here to lead, to build, to create, to conquer, to grow into the man God designed you to be. And that means your value is non-negotiable. Anyone who fails to see it is simply not meant to sit at your table. Brother, when she never calls or texts you first, don't see it as rejection. See it as revelation. It reveals her level of interest. It reveals whether she respects you. It reveals whether she deserves a place in your life. And once you see the truth, you have only one duty: to choose dignity over desperation, to guard your energy, to walk your path with strength, to never lower your standards for the sake of temporary attention, because in the end it's not about whether she texts first, it's about whether you choose to stand tall or to shrink, whether you choose respect or desperation, whether you choose to be a king in your own life or a beggar in someone else's. The choice is yours. But I promise you this: when you choose dignity, you never lose. Drop a comment below. If you were standing at the crossroads between dignity and desperation, which path would you choose and why? Brother, let this truth sink in deeply. Her silence is not the end of your story. It is a mirror, a reflection of where you stand, and a compass pointing you back to your strength. You were never born to wait for someone else's validation. You were never born to shrink yourself so that others feel comfortable. You were born to rise, to build, to create, and to live a life that commands respect and admiration, from yourself first and from the world second. If she never calls or texts you first, don't take it as a rejection. Take it as a lesson in patience, a lesson in self-respect, a lesson that shows you where your energy should truly belong, on your growth, your mission, and your purpose. Remember this: men who chase attention lose themselves. Men who guard their dignity gain everything. Your worth is not measured by a text message, a call, or someone else's interest. It is measured by the life you are building, the standards you are keeping, and the values you refuse to compromise. So rise, brother, stand tall, own your life, build your mind, body, and soul in such a way that silence no longer frightens you. Because when you stand in your power, when you cultivate your purpose, and when you honor your own standards, the world cannot ignore you. And the people who deserve to be in your life will gravitate towards you naturally. Every moment you spend worrying about why she doesn't text first is a moment taken from your growth. Turn that energy inward, strengthen yourself, improve yourself, master yourself. The man you become in the process is far more valuable than any fleeting attention from someone who does not see your worth. And let me be clear, choosing dignity does not mean you close yourself off from connection or love. It means you choose wisely. It means you refuse to settle for crumbs when you deserve the whole table. It means you honor yourself so that others have no choice but to honor you as well. Brother, the path of the Stoic Golden Tribe is not easy. It never has been, but it is the path of men who leave mediocrity behind, who rise through pain, who learn from rejection, and who emerge stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. So take this teaching and carry it with you every day. Let it remind you your value is non-negotiable. Your energy is sacred. Your dignity is untouchable. If this message resonated with you, I want you to do 3 things right now. 1. Like this video to honor your commitment to growth. 2. Share it with a brother who needs to hear this truth. 3. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss another lesson that will strengthen your mind, your heart, and your life. And finally, I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts below. Which lesson from today's video hit you the hardest? How will you take back your power starting today? I read every single comment because your growth matters. Remember this, brother. Silence is not rejection. Silence is clarity. Silence is an opportunity. And in choosing dignity over desperation, you step into a power that no one, no woman, no circumstance, no challenge can take away from you. Until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, build yourself. And never forget, the world may stay silent, but a man who knows his worth never does.